Welcome back. Today my guests are Mike Cavallini and Dave Simmons from Friends of Cycling in Elk Grove. Welcome, guys.
Thanks for having us.
Glad you could come in. We're going to talk a lot about the new bike plan and different things that are going on in the village. So with that, let's talk about the bike plan. The village had just approved a new plan. So why don't you guys go into a little detail for me?
Yeah. Dave, you were from the start. I wasn't involved.
Yeah, well, so with the updated plan, it was an attempt to revise some of the routes. In the initial plan, there were some routes included that maybe made sense at the time, but after 5 or 6 years, looking back on it, it was kind of just to clean it up and solidify the network of the routes around town.
All right, now, for people that don't know, even maybe want to take up cycling, are these some trails, some are paths on streets? Are they? I know they added a new lane along Biesterfield to go down to the west side. Is that happening all over, or are there going to be newer
eventually,
ones?
I think there's some of it relies on grants, so some of it will be phased in over years. It's not all being done at once. So yes, the widening of Biesterfield up by Meacham, and past. Now it's going to go past Meacham. So that's one of the parts of it. And then, of course, those entrances into the Busse Woods at Oakton and up by the Northwest Point are also, and those will be connecting points, too, to the trail down Oakton Street in the village.
Okay. Now, I noticed that by the lights they added, like you said, Northwest Point and Oakton, where you can cross from that one side to cross and not have to worry about anybody.
Right.
Well, running a red light maybe, but at least it's a path across. But does it tie into other towns' paths? I mean, do we start at one end of Elk Grove and go through the other end?
So there are connections to other towns, Schaumburg being the obvious one, also to the south with Itasca and Wooddale. And the idea is to have that more of a regional connection. So Elk Grove is in the Northwest Municipal Conference, and so they have their own regional plan, for example. Cook County's working on a bike plan at this point. So the further away you get from the local municipality, it's really incumbent on those agencies to make sure that they're tying those pieces together, and there is effort to do that.
Because the Forest Preserves are Cook County property.
Yep.
Right.
Arlington Heights Road is a county road,
yep.
and all the Oakton exactly too. So you have to have all the different government bodies involved.
Yes.
And then other towns, because you want to tie in basically
Right.
to the same paths. Is that correct?
Exactly.
Okay. Now, part of the plan, I mean, there's more to it than just a trail, correct? What else was involved in this new bike plan?
Well, go ahead.
Good.
Well, some new routes. Eventually they're looking to put additional routes along Devon Avenue, and the bridge over Claremont Bridge right now
Right.
will be redone, and that's all part of the program. Also, again, a lot of it precludes getting grants for some of these things. Also, so.
Well, I know we got a grant for the Claremont Bridge,
Correct.
because that's not cheap, but it's due to be redone, hopefully this year.
And if I could, the infrastructure piece is the expensive part, and that's going to take time. But other elements of the plan are the education piece.
Well,
there's elements, resources out there. There's the encouragement piece, which I think we're going to touch on, events, and other ways just to get people outside, excited about riding their bike for recreation and transportation, and just get them, to experience it.
Yeah,
So
'cause we get people telling us that they're kind of afraid to be riding around on the street with kids and families. So these trails and these routes will help kind of ease some of their fears about riding around with kids and families.
Sure.
So hopefully that'll increase participation of riding around the street. And again, a lot of people don't know which way to go.
Well-
how do I get to a certain location?
And then part of your program is also to have these maps available, or people can go online to...
direct them to the village website.
Okay.
And the fact that the main thoroughfares through town, the idea with those is to have a separated side path.
Yes.
Right. So, and that's going to take time. I'm sure folks have seen Biesterfield, even Devon. There's a new property right now for sale just west of the creek. Eventually those those holes
Well,
get filled in.
Well,
right?
they're unincorporated at this point,
Yeah.
but as soon as they become incorporated, there's a
Yeah.
sidewalk added. But yeah, that seems to be one spot in town that
Mm-hmm.
doesn't have a lot of sidewalk access. I know the football fields and the soccer fields are across the street. And, we'd like to have more control on where people can cross and things like that.
Well, I
So,
think that's part of the plan too, is to get people over Devon Avenue into the soccer fields and into those fields. So that's all involved with the new plan.
okay, well, and hopefully, it does. I know the crossing there at Ridge and Devon
Right.
is, isn't there a special light put in there now that
There is.
censors someone that's,
And when I shared that with some folks in different communities, it's the first time they'd seen anything like that.
Really?
So, but I think the point is, if we didn't have that plan, none of these improvements would have come to be. Now, we as advocates, we're always pushing for more and faster and maybe a little bit different. But once the plan's in place, then the village can fall back on that when applying for grants or implementing infrastructure improvements. So it really is important to have that plan.
And then we're partners too in telling people hey, you can go this way, you can go this way now, here's somewhere to go. And you can do that safely, and you can do that with your family,
well, we can leave Elk Grove and go south, or we can go north. I think a lot of people come from south, go through Elk Grove to get to Bussey Woods. So,
You can go take the Salt Creek Trail all the way to Brookfield Zoo, right from the high school.
oh, that's true. Yeah, you go down into Itasca and then down. Yeah,
Keeps on going.
as a kid, we used to skate down there when it used to freeze, but that was another story. No freezing anymore. But
No.
so the plan, how was that put together? You had a group of people from the Friends of Cycling and with village employees, and were you
Right.
able to?
Park District also.
And the
was-
Park
yes.
District. Okay.
Yeah, so 2014, when it first was developed, it was the Village Park District, FCG, Police Department was involved a little bit as well. Started with conversations where information was collected. Eventually, there were some public meetings that folks were able to attend.
I know we had some
Yeah.
open houses
Yeah.
to show people.
Yeah, with this update as well, it is important to get the public input, of
Sure,
course.
sure.
So the fact that the village staff did it all on their own is pretty impressive, because typically communities will hire outside consultants, engineers who work on these projects. So the Elk Grove plan came together nicely.
So this is being worked on since 2014.
Yeah.
Okay.
think
And I know there were
adopted-
different levels that were approved during the course of the time, but is there still more being worked on, or is this plan kind of have the future involved and get to that point?
Well, like the 2014, we just had the new one, so there's always renewals, looking at new routes, looking at additional routes. When funding comes in, you can add certain things. So it's kind of in flux all the time. It's not a static document, it just keeps moving. So, and we with the Friends of Cycling Elk Grove, we always help to add more routes and more ways to get around than anybody else. So yeah, we hopefully that it's not, say here, we're going to have a sequence of bike plans over the years.
Well, it should be revisited every 5 to 7 years.
Sure.
Just to make sure that the plans that are the ideas captured in there are what we really want for the future. We as the community, not we as FCG.
Yeah, and as Dave said, other communities, want, hey, can we come through? You want to connect here and there? So,
Well,
so it's all part of other communities also adding on and also rearranging their bike plans.
Well, I know some, as I drive down 355, there's the old railroad thing, was it near St. Charles Road?
Great Western Trail.
Yeah, the Great
and
Western
Prairie
Trail,
Path,
goes all the way through.
Yeah.
We don't have any old railroad tracks areas or anything like that, so is a lot of it wound through Elk Grove streets? I mean, I know we don't have a lot of straight streets; they're all curved, and it was for a purpose, so people weren't just going back and forth cutting through. So, does that kind of mix up your path a little bit?
It helps with connectivity, for people that just want to get places.
But Saturday and Sunday are nice days to ride the industrial park.
That's true.
It's all straight. There's not many people out there. I ride right down the middle of Lively Boulevard, and it's nice. It's a nice ride.
Yeah.
There's nobody out there, and you can head all the way down Lively and cross into Wooddale, and just keep going down
You know, I didn't even think about that because that's pretty empty on Sunday.
Yes,
Kinda
it's beautiful.
I taught the kids how to drive in there at Industrial Park on Sunday, so
Right,
it's
right.
it's a good place to go.
And now you got Northwest Point, so you can connect right to the Forest Preserve.
You can come right out through
Right,
the
and then
new
go
data
around.
center park and
Yeah.
cross into there and go through. Oh, you guys got it all mapped out.
Yeah, and really the idea of having the quiet neighborhood roads as part of the network, or you know, maybe they're not part of the network, but they're still quiet neighborhood roads, is to get, you know, as advocates, we need to focus on the casual cyclist or the family with children, right, and make conditions favorable to those types of people. So if we want, say, more families and kids to be traveling to sporting events, right? I don't know how many kids are going from, you know, home to a park on a weekend.
Oh yeah.
You know, there is a way to get around, right? And that's what, so the network gives the backbone, having the quiet neighborhood streets gives the opportunity. Now the challenge is, how do you get people to do that, right?
Yeah.
So you need that encouragement piece. And with gas where it's at,
Yes.
you know, those short trips add up, right? And so there's an opportunity and incentive. You know, we could work with the village to just give people some tips and get them to try it, right? Maybe even lead some rides to community athletic fields. There's all sorts of ways we could partner to just get people to give it a shot, and then hopefully some will want to continue. Less wear and tear on the roads, air's a little bit cleaner.
We had 30 people at our bike ballet at the concerts. So
Yes.
people came with bikes. They did
That was an
appreciate.
average of 30.
Yeah.
Well, I saw a lot of people too
Yeah.
that just sat on their bikes too
Yes.
and
So I
watched.
think they
And
were
with
not-
all the traffic and all the parking problems and all that, I think that's a great idea. They can get in and out
It
pretty
was-
quick.
It's a popular addition to the concerts to have that.
Well, being on that point, tell me more about the Friends of Cycling. I mean, what you guys actually, you know, not just the bike plan, but you guys have other programs that you do in that. One thing is the valet parking at the concerts, but what other things, events do you guys have?
Well, we're not really a bike club. We're a bike advocacy group. So we advocate. Our mission is, to promote and to support and to improve cycling and in the village. So we also we've done classes at the library. Dave is a certified bike instructor, and we have done some school work, and now I'm going to try to connect with the township, because they have actually a bike person that works for the township, so we're going to try to see what we can do with them too. And Dave has made some inroads with the school district too recently.
Yeah, District 59, we're hoping to do some events with them as well. Partnering with the library on classes, but also hoping to improve the bike area outside
Ride to
the
School
library.
Day at the high school. We did Ride to School Day a few years. We also do what's called our pit stops in Bussey Woods. We've been very lucky that the Forest Preserve has let us do some activities in the woods. So 4 or 5 times during the summer,
Yep.
we have what's called
Weather
a
dependent.
pit stop, where we've handed out over about 400 and something helmets for free.
Really?
From the Forest Preserve District Police give us the helmets, and we check people's tires, we check their bikes, we provide them some liquid refreshment and information. So that's been very successful. I mean, to hand out.
One way to get somebody's attention by giving them
Yeah.
something free.
And then we have our night ride.
How is it? Okay, I was going to ask about that.
Yeah, the Bussey Night Ride coming up August 27th. Last 2 years is sold out. It is the one and only time that one can legally ride
In the
Cook
woods
County
at
Forest
night,
Reserve.
yeah.
So
And it's safe. It's
And
not
it's
dark.
safe.
We have
Animals don't
lights,
come
yeah.
out and attack you or
Well,
anything like
we
that.
see their skunks, we see possums, we see. But yeah, it's safe. Everybody has to have lights, helmets. They have to have all the safety gear, and that's another thing we do. We promote riding safe and courteous. Not.
Yeah, I'll
not
tell
to
you,
people
that's
over
one
here.
thing too. I mean, you got some people thinking that it's a race out there, and
Yes.
I see many accidents. I had somebody crash in the back of us because somebody tried to pass and somebody tried to pass them,
Yeah.
and it's just the courteous part is very important.
Well, you think when people, in order to get a driver's license, you have to go through classes and take tests and that. And some motorists still don't obey the rules.
Oh, yeah, well,
right?
there's accidents every day,
Yeah.
as
Whereas
you know.
when it comes to riding a bike, no one's ever taught how to ride a bike. So, and you'll hear this pretty often. People shaking their fists, and part of it is that education piece that people just don't know. There was a couple generations of people who were taught to ride their bike against traffic, which is the single most dangerous thing one can do.
I've been riding for 60 years, and
Yeah.
that's what we were showing.
Well, you want to see what's coming at you so you can get out of the way.
Yeah,
That's the
that's
mentality.
what
It's
you
a
were
mentality,
told.
but let's
Yeah.
say the car's going 30 and you're going 10. It's the the cumulative effect of a 40-mile-an-hour crash.
That was the
So that's-
mantra in those days: ride
Yeah.
against the traffic.
Yeah. So there's a lot, right, that we can share.
Most
social
people don't know you
media,
have to be
email.
3 feet when you pass a bike, too.
3 feet.
From
Have
the
a distance.
outside of the mirror, yeah.
Yeah, well, that doesn't. You can't really do that in the woods.
No.
Yeah, no, that's vehicles and.
Well, I think
Yeah.
we were working with the park, again, with the Forest Preserve, and those signs, they put signs up now 15 miles an hour.
I saw that. I
And
saw
that's
that.
all some of our discussions
Good.
with the
That's-
Forest Preserve groups.
Because I think everyone loves the woods, and I know a lot of people that go out there and they ride early in the morning. They like to do the whole trail and all that, and they're out there. I mean, the speed is because of what they do is depends on how many people are around, but they just like the fresh air and being out there and the exercise.
Yep.
So
Even those people that are going pretty fast, they should still be courteous to let you know they're passing, say something.
On your
don't-
left, things like that, yeah.
And, let at least people know, because all of a sudden, there's a bike next to you,
Right.
and
well, you don't hear them coming. A lot of them, they're silent, and you can't. And if you even tried to make you step outside, you don't want to get in a crash
Right.
with anybody. So,
And then the pedestrian gets yelled at, where it's the cyclist doing the wrong thing. And
well, again, we share with
Yeah.
everybody,
And
and you
speed-
promote that, and that's the nice thing. That's the good thing about it.
the speed was the challenge, like with the speed limit. When I was a kid, I grew up in Cook County in the city, and the speed limit was 8 miles an hour. Like, it's hard to go.
Can you stay
right.
up? Can the bike stay up?
So the fact that there is a speed limit is really meant as a reminder.
It's just more, because nobody's really out there taking radar, but it's
Right.
to
they
tell
do.
you.
The police are out there periodically.
Are they really?
They, do,
Well,
they
oh,
grab
good.
people periodically, or if you don't stop at the stop signs, or
I've seen that.
if you're speeding, they do periodically do that. They have their radar gun out. So
The challenge is a lot of people use that closed loop now, and they want to get their best time,
Yeah,
or
exactly.
they want to use their Strava. And well, that's all fine and good. Just don't do it on a sunny Saturday at noon.
Yeah.
And be
Or the
angry.
industrial park. You can, do it there and
go
as
up and
fast
down
as you
as-
want.
Yep.
Are you guys involved with the Biking with the Mayor too? Is that
We
part
haven't
of-
really talked too much about that this year because we haven't had it in a couple of years.
Well, yeah,
So-
but I
we
mean,
started
you
it.
were
That
you
was-
started
that was
it,
one
right?
of our-
Okay, that's
Yep.
that was
yeah.
one of our ideas
'Cause-
when we started out.
That seemed to always pull a lot of people in. I've always seen the group. I mean, a pretty decent sized group of everyone, little kids and adults.
I think we've done it 6 times. And yeah, it usually gets a good maybe 75 to 100 people,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
is a nice
We
turnout.
also do Ride of Silence, where in May, where we ride in silence of somebody that's been injured or killed on a bike, that we kind of honor the woman that was killed down at the
Rosewater,
far,
sure.
yeah.
At Higgins Road.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So so that's another thing that we do. We ride about 10 miles in silent, and
Very
we get
casual.
about 50, 60 people for that sometimes too.
good.
And that's another opportunity to get people out on a bike. If it's May and maybe they haven't been out, let's say all winter or longer, right? So there is safety in numbers, and if we say, come on out, just go for a ride with us. It's casual, it's not a race. Just experience the community that exists around biking.
Yeah.
But we do have rides too. We have scheduled rides. We have people taking people out on rides, 10 miles, 25 miles. We have a ride down to Brookfield Zoo once a year at the end of the season.
Well, the next question is, how does somebody find out about what all the different programs or things that you you have coming up or you do yearly? If somebody wants to join and that, what do they need to do? Where do they go?
Well, it's kind of a canned response. It's all on our website.
Yeah.
But it is, right?
Okay.
There is an
And we'll
account
show it on
the
the screen,
website.
your
Yeah.
website.
There's a membership. We do an annual membership that helps to fund some of the programs that we offer as well. Social media, we are on Facebook and Instagram. So yeah, folks can certainly find out about what's going on with FCG.
And we're planning to have a day a Saturday at the farmers market too.
Yeah,
Okay.
do some outreach.
When the outdoor opens?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, have a presence around the village and, engage with folks in conversation, answer their questions, maybe quell their fears a little bit.
Yeah, well, I mean, information's the best way to learn something, so.
Yeah.
Any other things you want to bring up that we haven't covered?
Just make sure when you go out, you use your helmet, you're courteous, and you check your bike before you start, because those are the
Yeah.
big things that we emphasize, especially having a helmet. It's so important. We've had people, we've been giving out helmets, and somebody came back to us about what,
Right.
2 months later, said, you might have saved my life. He says, I never wore a helmet before. I had your helmet on. And those are testimonials that we appreciate.
Those are real ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
And if people have questions, they can our email egvbikes@gmail.com. They can just email. That's happened many times over the years. Here's my situation. My kid's doing whatever. Like, contact us, and we're happy to share any knowledge or expertise that we can. And we might even invite you to just get together for a ride.
Well, that's it. I mean, go out there and give it a try.
Yeah.
I mean, all this information sounds like it can really help somebody, especially about, you don't want to go out 7 miles on your bike and have it break down.
Right. Right.
Well, we have our station right by by the elk. We put that pump station and tools.
Oh, really?
That's something that we donate.
See, and that if somebody has a map from your website or our website, the village, it tells you where these repair things are.
I don't think that one is, but we are talking with the library about that space outside where the bikes are, improving that, and that has been one of the discussion points is, can we get a pump, can we get a fix-it stand, maybe a water fountain? So we're trying, the idea there is to use the proceeds from our Bussy Night Ride, which again, we've sold out the last 2 years. So we have money. And the board met and discussed, what can we do with it? So we said, key partners, the library, the school districts, these are places we could use some of those funds to, plan events or to offer information, just to collaborate with them.
Hey, we forgot our program to buy bike racks for businesses in the village. We bought, how many?
I think we're at a dozen.
Dozen. Dairy Queen. You could ride your bike to Dairy Queen now and park your bike, or ride it to Tapalpa, or ride it to a number of restaurants and
Churches.
businesses. Yeah, churches in the village. That all those bike racks have been donated by the Friends
Oh,
of
really?
Cycling. Yeah,
Well, see, you guys do quite a bit for the village.
we
It's
try.
been a good 10 years, yeah.
Yeah.
We're starting our next decade, so it's an exciting time.
Well, let's go for 10 more.
Well, we hope so.
All right. Well, thank you so much for coming. I appreciate it.
Thanks for having
I
us.
think everybody's going to learn a little bit more. I know they've seen you guys out there at the concerts, but I don't think they really realize how much you guys do for the cycling people in Elk Grove. So look forward for the new plan to go through. And if anybody's interested, we'll have the website on the screen. And they can contact you and if they have any questions.
Yeah, or if they want a sticker, we have a lot of stickers.
Stickers are
Everybody
good.
loves stickers.
Bells too. We have bells.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, we're
We'll
happy
give them away.
happy to communicate with folks.
Well, good. Dave, thank you. Mike, thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Appreciate it for coming in. We'll be right back after this.
Elk Grove has formally adopted an update to the village's bike plan. The plan proposes the addition of approximately 13 miles of new routes to the village's expanding bicycle network. The new proposed routes focus on providing safe and efficient pathways to key destinations in and around Elk Grove. These proposed routes will provide for more seamless access to recreational, commercial, and commuter locations. For more information about the village's updated bike plan and to view the current and proposed routes, visit elkgrove.org/bike.
Welcome to Elk Grove Village, home of the largest industrial park in the U.S. Elk Grove Village is at the crossroads of technology and industry. Located at the convergence of national fiber optic cables, gas and oil pipelines, and unlimited fresh water supply. Elk Grove Technology Park is where great makers come together to make great things, providing a new home for the leaders of today's industrial revolution. Join our community of thinkers, builders, and leaders at makerswanted.org.
24/7 pickup lockers are now available at the Elk Grove Village Public Library. Library patrons now have the option to select our outdoor lockers as a pickup location. It's perfect for when you can't pick up your holds during our business hours or you just don't have time to come inside. Patrons may place holds by logging into their library account via the library catalog, mobile app, or by calling the library or visiting in person. Held items remain in the lockers waiting for you for 3 days. Once you receive a notification that your items are ready for pickup, simply scan your library card or digital card on our mobile app, or type in your library card number to the locker system. From there, enter your 4-digit PIN, and then press Log In. After you've entered your information, a locker door will open to release your hold. When the doors open, your items will automatically be checked out, so be sure to take all of your items. Press the Print Receipt button on the screen for your checkout receipt if needed. It's just that easy. When you're done with your items, just return them to the library's book drop. To get started using the new outdoor lockers, or if you just need more information, go to egvpl.org or call 847-439-0447.
Welcome back. I'd like to take a minute here at the end of the show to talk about the youth scholarships that are available. The Village Youth Committee and the Park Foundation have 7 $1,000 scholarships available for seniors that are graduating this year to go to college. If you're interested, please go to the Park District website or the Village website and download the applications. You also can talk to your guidance counselors at your high school. They should have the applications also. We need to have the applications in by May 6th. No longer will we accept them after May 6th, and we will let the winners know by the middle of June if you've won. Please go and download these applications. It's $1,000 that you can put towards computers. You can go to a trade school. You can go to a beauty school. Just a continuing education that will help you get better in life. So please download these applications. Get them into us. The money's there. We've got to give it away. Hopefully that you'll win one. I'd like to thank our guests today, Dave Simmons and Mike Cavallini from the Friends of Cycling in Elk Grove. I look forward to seeing some of you out there on your bikes taking these new routes. That's it for this episode of In the Grove. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.